Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be demoing the new Chanel Holiday Quad in 397 Nuit Astrale. I'm very excited for this. I have my own snack. I have a little bit of popcorn. I've got a cherry vanilla Olipop, and I am so excited to film this for you guys. Let's go over really quick what I have on my face, because for the sake of time, I've already done my face. We're only going to be demoing this quad. I have the Glossier Fluid Stretch Foundation in the color Light 2. I have, for blush, an original Project Pan Chanel blush in the color 260 Alezane. Look at that progress. This is the original formula that we all know and love. I haven't bought a Chanel blush in 5 years, maybe 6. On my face for contour bronzer, I have the Film Star Bronze and Glow palette in light medium, just the bronzer shade, also Project Pan. And then for highlight, I have the Natasha Pastel Plexi Glow. That's this little cute little palette here, and look, I have reached pan on this as well. On my eyes, I have primed my eyelids with the Bareminerals Prime Time. And for my brows, I have used the TooFaced brow wig in the color Soft Brown. This is also Project Pan this year. For reference, I'm going to be using as my mascara today the Bareminerals Strength and Length Serum Infused Mascara. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so everything did come housed in this beautiful Chanel box. These boxes are great, super sturdy. I use them in my drawers as organizers for various different things. The samples that came with my order was the Sublimage Texture Supreme Cream, the Hydra Beauty Micro Liquid Essence, and my favorite Chanel mascara in their just original Le Volume, the Chanel. So I know you guys love to see what kind of goodies we get with our orders, and this is what was included in there. Now, the 2 items we're going to be featuring today is Rouge Allure Lac 559 in Nebulous. I only picked up this purple shade. Let's go ahead and swatch it for you guys. I love this formula. I own several different colors in the lacs, and they do not dry out my lips. They don't completely set down, so you are going to have a little bit of transfer with these with this formula, but they are extremely comfortable on the lips. It has a glass bottle which is painted black ombre almost, and then at the bottom it's clear so you can see the color peeking through. Very classy packaging, weighty. I do love these. I love the formula because it doesn't sink into fine lines, it doesn't run, and although it gives you kind of like that liquid lipstick kind of look, it doesn't look crusty or flaky. So again, remember, these are not transfer proof, so if you're looking for that, this may not be the formula. You're gonna get some transfer with this, not a lot, but you will. And what I love about that formula is that as you eat and you drink whatever, it starts to wear off in a beautiful way. It doesn't wear off patchy like normal liquid lipsticks do. So again, that's why I just repurchase this formula over and over. Like I said, I have plenty of colors. 18-month shelf life, made in France, for those of you who are wondering. I did pick up the beautiful holiday palette. I have been super excited about this since I knew it was going to launch. I we've been asking for a cool tone palette forever, and this is what Chanel has come up with. I personally love blues, lilacs, purples, grays, the whole thing. So I knew I was gonna pick up this palette. I think it's different. I love the Chanel DNA, so I know that no matter what color story they do, it's gonna be wearable and sophisticated. That is one thing I can attest for when it comes to the Chanel eyeshadows. You do get the gold CCs for the holiday. Would I have loved to see more of a different holiday inspired packaging? Yes, but I mean, here we are. You get this plastic little base on top of it to protect your shadows, and then you get these two little sponges right here, which I actually do use. These sponges are great, super soft on the eyes. They do a really good job at picking up the shadows. And in case you guys were wondering, the little tabs have little CCs on them. Can you see that? These do really good if you want to swipe liner really close to the lash line. If you want to lay color right into this corner of the eyelid, these do a great job at picking up the shadow without creating too much fallout or mess. Here is that beautiful eyeshadow palette. All of the shades in here have some form of a shimmer, even the gray. I showed you guys this in a shorts under direct sunlight, and this gray has a little bit of sparkle in there, but just look how stunning it is. You don't have to wear all 4 of these shades at the same time. You can definitely use these as one and dones depending on what look you're going for. The embossment is beautiful, but we know that's going to last 2 seconds. But I love this color story. I love how different it is. I don't have much of this in my collection. I don't own like blue palettes, or I never picked up the Roxa palette from Natasha Denona, which maybe if I would have had that one, I probably maybe would have skipped out on this. And I don't have a lot of blues within my eyeshadow collection, so this was a no-brainer for me. I absolutely love these cool toned shades, and we all know that cool tone shades are pretty hard to come across. Let's go ahead and do a little swatcheroo before we get started on this look, because the sunlight is amazing. I am so happy I waited until this weekend to film this, because last weekend the weather was so bad and I was gonna power through and demo these, but I just didn't feel right about it. I wanted a really sunny day because I really wanted you guys to see the colors, and I'm glad that I waited. Thank you for your patience as always. I know you guys like to see these finger swatches. I apologize for all of the motorcycles that you'll be hearing in the background. They, I guess, decided to all come out today. I'm not sure. Maybe there's some kind of event I'm not aware of. So they swatch pretty good, but look at those shades. They're stunning. You can see that you think that this one's gonna be a matte, but there are shimmers. On mine, I see shimmers. I don't know if maybe it's like a transfer of contamination because it's surrounded by shimmery shades. I'm gonna deepen this for you guys because I want you guys to get a really good sense of these colors. But yes, this gray does have a little bit of shimmer in there. Not a lot, barely noticeable, but when the direct sunlight hits it, I can see it. It's like a sheen, it has a sheen. But look, I've swatched, like my fingers have been swatch, but you can see that color, how it spreads out. How stunning are these shades? Like I said, you don't have to wear all these shades in conjunction with each other. You can literally just use them as one and done shades. I, of course, for the purpose of this video, am gonna be using all 4 of the shades. I have my BK Beauty brushes here that I will be using, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, I'm starting off with a 203 brush from BK Beauty. I'm gonna bring you guys a little bit closer so you can see what's happening. I'm gonna start off with this light shade on the bottom. This one right here. And I'm gonna put that all over the lid and see what we get here. Ooh, very frosty. You guys, these are not shades I would have ever picked for a holiday, but leave it to Chanel to make this very snow inspired. It gives me skiing in the mountains vibes with like the iridescent look it has. I am gonna say the embossing on this is 3D, which basically is, instead of it being etched in, it actually like pops up, and it's pretty, it's still there. So maybe it's gonna last more than 2 seconds. Maybe you're probably gonna get several uses out of it before it completely goes away. So I have applied that all over the lids. Just how stunning is that color? Okay. Next, I'm going to use this Angie Hot and Flashy A501 brush, slightly bigger. And I'm gonna angle it like this. You can see it's kind of like a flat kind of shader brush almost, but I'm gonna angle it like this. I'm going to pick up some of the gray shade, and I'm gonna use that as obviously my transition shade. The formula is fairly pigmented and blends really nicely. I would say this is definitely typical Chanel formula is what I'm getting from this quad. As opposed to the Space Traveler, I feel like the formula there was a little bit different than what I usually get from Chanel. It blends out really easily. And you have room to build, which is important when, you know, dealing with unique shades like this. Next, I'm gonna go in with a 207 brush, and I'm gonna go into this deeper purple right here, and I'm gonna try a couple of things. I want to apply this on the actual lid, but in the outer corner, just to see how we do with a brush. Okay, that's beautiful. I'm going to apply this shade onto the lid. I know. I'm gonna do half of my lid. Try not to overlap into the gray. I want to keep that gray there, untouched. Okay, now for the sake of this video, this is what it looks like with a brush. I'm gonna try it with my finger on this side just to see what we're working with here. Okay, yes, if you use your finger, you're gonna get a lot more pigment immediately. So if what you're looking for is to go light and then to build, I would suggest you use a brush. But you can clearly see the difference between this eye and this one. This one is more diffused. So it really comes down to your personal preference. I'm gonna even them out because I gotta do a shorts after this. Next, I'm gonna be using a 209 brush, and I'm gonna go into that blue shade right here, and we're gonna put it in the third of the eye. Let's see. Wow, that is really pretty. Okay, so I love this, but I've changed my mind. I want to do something else with this look. I'm actually getting the same 203 brush that we used to lay down this first shade up here. This light, actually it was this shade, the light purple shade. I'm going to reinforce that color in the inner portion of my lid. This may look a little bit different now because I put that blue down initially, but you guys know, you guys can see the overall picture I'm going for. Now, I'm gonna use that blue shade, and I wanna pop it right in the center. These shadows look beautiful using a brush or your finger, whatever you choose to use. So that is what it looks like just with a brush, applying that light. I'm gonna go in with a finger and be gentle with the shadows, because if you dig in too hard with the brush, it's gonna be a hot mess, because these are shifty shades, and I'm literally just patting that right in the center of the lid. Isn't that beautiful? Let's do the same thing to the other eye. They did such a good job with this quad. And this particular quad looks nothing like any of the Chanel quads that I currently own. Not that you can't find these shades elsewhere, obviously. I just don't have these colors in my collection with all the palettes that I currently have. Look at that. Okay, I am going to apply a little bit of eyeliner, and I'm gonna use this Chanel liner that I have in the color Berry. This is part of my project pan, but you can literally use Cassis. If you have Cassis, it's a beautiful deep purple, which is also lovely. And I'm just going to tightline the outer portion of my eye. Okay, I applied some mascara and eyeliner just to the outer portion of my eye. You're gonna get a little bit of fallout with these shades because they are on the drier side, but I think the look came out beautiful. Again, this is very dramatic. You don't have to use all 4 shades. I think if you want something a little bit more work appropriate, I would suggest going the one and done route. Let's go ahead and apply a little bit of the Rouge Lac that launched with this collection in Nebulous. or nebuleux, I don't know. And again, my French. This is such a stunning shade, and a little bit really goes a long way. I love that the applicator on this is pointed because it really allows you to get into the Cupid's bow. I apply the tiniest amount and then I just spread it out. I love that you get the look of a liquid lip, but not the feel of a liquid lip with this formula. This could definitely be built up, and I think this particular shade would look stunning on those of you with deeper, richer skin tones. This lipstick has fuchsia sparkles. It's not gritty, you can't feel it at all, but you can see it. I'm not sure the camera's gonna pick that up. And you can move it around. It's not completely transfer proof, so my drink. So you can see that some of it came off there. So you are gonna get some transfer with that, but let me show you what I'm talking about. You see how it kind of wore off right in the center? Watch. You can continue to move that formula around as it wears down. With a solid, typical liquid lipstick, you can't do that. Once it sets, it's not gonna move anywhere. And so what starts to happen is it starts to look really patchy and it starts to flake off because then it doesn't layer well. You can continue to layer this and it'll look wonderful, which is why I love the Lax. I own these in several different shades and I'm so happy I picked this one up because one of my favorite shades from them was Dark Blossom. It was a limited edition shade that came out during the fall. I still have it, so I'm gonna do a comparison swatch for you guys in a second. But I loved that purple formula and I never saw it come back. Okay, here we have number 77, Dark Blossom. This was an old limited edition shade, and then here we have Nebulous. Dark Blossom gives me Black Honey vibes, but it definitely does have a purple kind of base to it, kind of like magenta vibes. And then Nebulous is a true deep plum. So not as similar as I quite remember it to be, but loved that I have both of these. Let me show you this look in front of natural light. All right, so I'm standing in natural light. Now let me show you this look in front of a ring light. Okay, here we are in front of a ring light. So my overall thoughts of this palette is, obviously I love it. As you can see, we've used it. The embossing is still on there, but you can see that there is quite a lot of kick up. So be gentle with these shadows when using a brush. If you wanna see more looks, kind of like more one and done, office appropriate looks with this palette, let me know. Leave me a comment down below. I would be more than happy to do that for you guys, because you would obviously achieve something a lot less dramatic than this. That's it, you guys. I'm really interested to know what you guys picked up from the Chanel holiday collection. Let me know, did you pick this up? Did you love it? Did you pick up any of the lippies? Leave me all your questions and comments down below. I will do my best to answer them. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. It's the only other social media platform I am currently active on. And thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. It is absolutely free. It does help push my video into the algorithm. And you guys would have noticed that there are these little banners coming up under my videos asking you to hype it up. If you click on that, it actually allows more people to be able to see my video in their feed. It's YouTube's way of just like pushing your video out there to more audiences. So if you want to do that, greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching. I appreciate your time. I hope you guys have a lovely weekend and see you guys next time. Bye.